is Elena, and I'm 34 years old. I live in a small town near the coast, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone and life moves slowly. But my life, it hasn't always been quiet. It used to be full of noise, the sound of the city, my husband's laughter, my son's tiny footsteps on the kitchen floor. Now, it's just me and the silence. I used to have a small flower shop. It wasn't fancy, but it smelled like heaven. Roses, lilies, lavender. Every morning, I'd unlock the door, turn on the soft music, and start arranging bouquets for birthdays, weddings, or just for people who wanted to say, "I love you." My husband David was a teacher. He was calm, patient, and kind. We had a son, Leo. He was 7, full of energy and curiosity. He loved helping me water the flowers after school. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours. We didn't have much money, but we had love, and I thought that was enough. Until one rainy evening in November, everything changed. It was almost closing time. I was cleaning the floor when my phone rang. It was a number I didn't recognize. "Mrs. Taylor," a serious voice said, "there's been an accident." My hands went cold. Time froze. David and Leo were driving home from the city after visiting David's parents. The man kept talking, but I couldn't hear him. My knees went weak. That night, I lost both of them. A drunk driver, one wrong turn, and my world ended. The next morning, I woke up and, for a few seconds, forgot what happened. Then reality hit again. Heavy, cruel, endless. I didn't open my shop for months. I couldn't stand the smell of flowers anymore. They reminded me of funerals. People came to see me, brought food, tried to help, but I was empty. I smiled, said thank you, and went back to my room. I didn't cry much. I just stared at the wall, asking, why them? Why not me? One night, I found Leo's old notebook. Inside, he had written short notes, little drawings, a few words, messy handwriting. On the last page, there was something that broke me completely. "Dear Mom, if you are sad, don't forget that I love you. I will always be in your heart. Love, Leo." I pressed the notebook to my chest and finally cried. For hours. That night, I decided to write him a letter I would never send. "Dear Leo, today I miss you more than yesterday. The house feels too quiet without your laughter. I still make pancakes every Sunday, the way you liked them, and sometimes when the wind blows through the window, I imagine it's you running through the garden." I wrote every night after that, letters to Leo. Letters I never sent. Months passed. I still didn't go out much. But one afternoon, I forced myself to take a walk to the old cafe near the sea. When I sat down, an old man at the next table smiled and said, "You come here often?" I shook my head. First time in months. He nodded slowly. "Grief keeps us home for too long," he said. "But the world doesn't stop turning." We talked. His name was Mr. Brown. He had lost his wife 2 years ago. "He writes her letters," he said, sipping his coffee. My eyes widened. "You do?" He smiled. "Every week. It helps me talk to her, helps me live." That day, I realized maybe I wasn't the only one trying to talk to ghosts. The next morning, I went back to my flower shop. The closed sign was still there, dusty, faded. I took a deep breath, unlocked the door, and stepped inside. It smelled like dust and old memories, but I wanted to bring life back. Slowly, I cleaned the shelves, washed the vases, opened the curtains. The sunlight touched the petals of the few flowers that had survived, and I smiled for the first time in months. That week, I reopened the shop. Not many customers came at first, but one day a little girl came in with her dad. She looked around with wide eyes and said, "It smells like happiness here." Her words filled my heart. Soon, I started adding small notes to every bouquet I sold, simple messages like, "You are loved. Don't give up. You matter." It became my thing. People began to notice. They came not just for flowers, but for hope. One morning, a woman came to me and said, "My daughter was sick. Your note made her smile. Thank you." That night, I wrote another letter to Leo. "Dear Leo, today I helped someone smile. Maybe that's what you wanted from me all along. Maybe love never dies, it just changes shape." A year later, I visited the cemetery. I brought a small bouquet of white lilies, his favorite. I sat there for a long time, just listening to the wind. Then I whispered, "I'm okay now, my love. I miss you, but I'm living again." Before I left, I placed one last letter under the flowers. "Dear Leo, you taught me how to love. You taught me how to live again. Thank you for every sunrise, every memory, every heartbeat. I'll carry you with me, always." Now, 3 years later, I still run the shop. It's called Letters and Lilies, and every time I write a small note for someone, I think of my son, of how even the deepest pain can grow into something beautiful. Sometimes customers ask me, "How do you stay so kind after everything?" And I say, "Because kindness is how I remember those I lost." And if you're still here, thank you for listening to my story. If it touched your heart, I hope you take something with you. No matter how dark life feels, love always finds a way to shine again. Now, let's make this part of your daily English practice. Listen again tomorrow, repeat phrases out loud, and grow your English and your heart one story at a time.